We back in it, man. We had to find a different video. The last video was not it, man. That guy that we were watching before, very much depressing, man. His thumbnails be looking good, but that's all he has for him. Anyways, we got a good wrestling channel on here. We got Wrestlelamia. I've watched a few of those videos. I like them. They're not always accurate. They be doing a lot of predictions that, you know.
WWE's first ever event on ESPN is here, as WWE is now set to present Wrestlepalooza. And WWE are supposedly going all out with the show, with a lineup that features a final encounter and a match for the WWE Championship. Join us now as we predict all the winners and losers at WWE Wrestlepalooza 2025. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. And the first match is Stephanie Becker versus Io Sky for the vacant Women's World title, at the build toward delivering a tournament featuring all the top women on the Raw brand. Nevertheless, this match features two of the top in-ring workers in all of WWE, and it definitely has the potential to steal the show. Now, there is concern that whichever name wins the match is going to be relegated to backstage segments, as unfortunately, Triple H has a bad habit of booking his female world title holders exclusively in backstage segments. The idea here is that it keeps the talent's matches and appearances special, but it has the opposite effect in recent years, with the world champion often looking like a secondary character on a show they should be carrying. WWE will likely go with Becker as the new world champion, especially with Sky in the midst of an acclaimed story arc with Rhea Ripley and the Kabuki Warriors. There are rumors that Asuka and Kairi Sane could cost Sky the world title, and that does seem like a viable route WWE could go down. Triple H does love a slow burn, and it's possible that he once again opts to tease dissension in the ranks between the friends, and this leads to a tag match at Crown Jewel in Australia, pitting the Kabuki Warriors versus Ripley and Io Sky. At our prediction, Stephanie Becker wins the vacant Women's World title. Next up is the Usos versus The Vision. Now it's official, let's face it, a full-blown heel turn for the former world champion is highly unlikely, mainly because Jay is still insanely over with the audience, and he's still a name that WWE relies on at the top of the card as a babyface entity. Any rumors that Jay may turn on Jimmy don't exactly have a ton of merit, as Jay's issues have nothing to do with Jimmy. They're mainly focused on him losing the world title and his ongoing beef with The Vision, specifically Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. Judgment Day are currently holding the tag titles hostage on Raw, as in an alarming stat, they've only been defended once since July. Yeah, yikes. But our prediction, the Usos defeat The Vision. Next up is Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins take on AJ Lee and CM Punk. Now, we all thought it would never happen, but AJ Lee has finally returned to WWE, and she will be wrestling at Wrestlepalooza in a mixed person tag match. They reported that AJ Lee is back full-time, which means that this won't be a one-time deal. WWE has a number of options and ways to book the finish of this match. They could either have CM Punk pin world champion Seth Rollins, and this would set up another match between the two foes, and hopefully a final encounter, potentially even at Crown Jewel in Australia. The other option, which seems more likely, is that AJ Lee pins Becky Lynch. This could then lead to AJ Lee challenging Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental title, and even possibly winning the title later on. Continuing the feud between AJ and Lynch makes so much sense, and WWE could easily get a number of PLE encounters out of the rivalry if they desire. But our prediction, AJ Lee and CM Punk defeat Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins. Next up is Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Brock Lesnar shocked the world by returning at SummerSlam, and this was a surprise return that nobody saw coming. Lesnar instantly set his sights on John Cena, and a final encounter was booked for Wrestlepalooza. However, with this being actively marketed as a final encounter, this booking move may not make a lot of sense. Surely if Cena lost, he would seek revenge. Cena just moving on without any fanfare would be totally out of character. With that being said, with how bizarre Cena's been booked in 2025, it wouldn't be out of the question for Cena to lose convincingly, then never mention the loss ever again on television. Cena needs to be kept strong, especially on the road to his final match in December, and defeating Lesnar is the way to achieve this. The match is set to main event this show, and Lesnar walking out with a victory isn't the ending WWE may want for their first ever Wrestlepalooza show. Interestingly, Cena is not even set for a single TV date between Wrestlepalooza and Crown Jewel Perth, so this means that whoever Cena faces at Crown Jewel will have to build the match by themselves. Either this leads to WWE delivering an open challenge for Cena, which could be a fun spectacle, and it would be an obvious and natural callback to his acclaimed 2015 US title series, or WWE has a name that shows up at the end of Wrestlepalooza to confront Cena. Now the problem with this is that WWE have been relying heavily on ending PLEs with moments and returns rather than conclusive finishes. It all depends on what kind of message WWE really wants to send with their first show on ESPN, and with Triple H continuously pushing the idea that WWE creates viral moments, Cena being confronted after the match is very likely. In relation to what name this could be, names that fans have thrown around range from Dominic Mysterio to AJ Styles, with the latter being a name that fans continue to push for a match versus Cena before December comes around. It's also possible that WWE have contacted a legend to work with Cena in Australia, but any surprise returns are being kept top secret. Some fans believe that wrestling legend Chris Jericho is going to face Cena before the year is out, and whilst this makes sense due to their history together, Jericho remains under AEW contract until December 2025. Now in all honesty, this is a matchup at Wrestlepalooza that could go either way, and WWE are likely in two minds as to what outcome to go with. The sensible option at this stage is keeping Cena credible and legitimate, and securing a huge win over his longtime foes would be the correct way to achieve this. Our prediction: John Cena defeats Brock Lesnar in their final encounter. Next up is Cody Rhodes vs Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Now at last, Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre will go one-on-one for the WWE title. There's been a lot of criticism of the match by himself, and he's mainly been feuding with Randy Orton instead of the American Nightmare. The match will mark Rhodes' first title defense since winning the title at SummerSlam, and it seems extremely unlikely that he drops the title this soon. However, stranger things have happened in WWE, and they're labeling this event as big as WrestleMania, and a title change would be one way to achieve such billing. This feud is likely to play out over several installments, and whilst it's possible that McIntyre does eventually walk out of this rivalry with the top prize in WWE, Wrestlepalooza is unlikely to be the place to do it. One possible outcome is that WWE delivers a non-finish. The match is currently scheduled to be the main event of the show, so they may wish to have a non-contest to further the feud. This will be seen as many as a total letdown, but it would be an easy and somewhat cheap way of keeping the feud going. Another factor in this match is Randy Orton. The WWE Great is in the middle of this feud, and it's only a matter of time before Orton turns to the dark side. Is Wrestlepalooza the right event for this to even happen, or does WWE continue the slow build and continue to tease Orton's downward spiral? Whatever the case, Rhodes retaining is one of the more obvious and more predictable match outcomes on the entire card. As our final prediction, Cody Rhodes retains the WWE Championship. But are there any other potential matches? Add an additional matchup at the last minute? And if so, what match could they add? The first possibility is Tiffany Stratton vs Nia Jax vs Jade Cargill. And Nia Jax made a presence felt during the Stratton vs Cargill match on SmackDown, and a triple threat match is bound to happen sooner rather than later. But this all depends on Stratton's injury status, as the reigning women's champion was pulled from NXT Homecoming due to her not being medically cleared to compete. If Stratton needs more time off to recover from her injury, then WWE will definitely postpone this match, maybe even to Crown Jewel Perth. The other is Dominic Mysterio vs AJ Styles. Now, the feud between Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles over the Intercontinental Championship is far from over, and fans are hoping that AJ captures the title before going on to face John Cena. A match being added to the PLE would make sense, but logic would dictate that this match would have been added on the go-home edition of Raw. What about a tag team turmoil match? WWE could also book a tag team turmoil featuring all the various teams on SmackDown. This would definitely be a lot of fun and be an easy way to kill some time. Unfortunately, this would be a match that WWE will need to commit significant time to, so whilst it would be a crowd pleaser, WWE and TKO still need to find time for their array of advertisements. And what about a Sami Zayn Open Challenge? Well, Sami Zayn has been enjoying success with his US title Open Challenges on SmackDown, and WWE adding a PLE Open Challenge would be a welcome move. There are countless options on the blue brand to challenge Zayn, ranging from Carmelo Hayes, Montez Ford, or even Jacob Fatu. But there you have it, folks, all the winners and losers of Wrestlepalooza. Be sure to leave your predictions down below, and I'll see you next time with some more.
Carmelo Hayes beat Sami Zayn, but I don't think they're gonna have Sami Zayn lose this early. Even though I would love that, but you know.